I'm here today with one of my favorite internet celebrities, the best Madden player I know. I'm a huge fan of this guy, Wesley Belcher. Thank you so much for being on the show. We're huge fans. My co-host and I love you.
I heard that he's a big fan of me, and that's awesome. I think he's pretty cool as well. Yeah, your co-host is sick. I wish he could have been here with us, but whatever, maybe next time.
He'll enjoy watching this.
That's cool of you to say that I'm the best Madden player that you know.
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So,
are we recording this? Like, do we have that statement on the record?
Well, sometimes things get edited. Sometimes things get lost.
All right, fair enough.
So
you heard it. You heard it. Right on. So yeah, glad to be here. Welcome to Casa del Wesley. Right?
Yeah, this place is awesome, and I appreciate you being here. This room is gigantic, and we need to do all our interviews here. You should have us over more often.
If I can sit down and get up and change from my pajamas to this really quickly and just come in here and talk to you guys, I'm always down for doing that. Trust me, I'm always down for doing that, bro. But yeah, right on. Welcome to the house, and let's dive in.
All right. Well, we'd like to start all of our interviews off. We're a gaming show first and foremost.
No
so,
doubt.
what's your favorite video game?
Without a doubt, I kind of knew this question was coming, and the answer wouldn't have changed. I didn't have to think about it long. Halo, without a doubt. Master Chief is my guy. I love NBA 2K and Madden, obviously. Our namesake is our namesake, and it's our namesake for a reason because we love the game. But desert island with an internet connection, or maybe not, with just like some power cords, you give me Halo and some Bob Marley, and I'm good to go. I'm golden.
What a mix.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm good to go. The story is good. And people will tell you like the story isn't why they buy the game. You have people that'll buy the newest Halo game and go straight into multiplayer. Two reasons not to do that. One, the story is phenomenal. It's just a beautiful story about these different societies and religions, if you will. Like, because the Covenant is like this whole religion thing, and blah 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 blah. And they've got this whole culture that they're dealing with, trying to save the universe, or trying to get to salvation, if you will. But anyway, the story is cool, and playing through the story gives you an opportunity to learn the controls of the game, right? So nobody wants to be on a team with that kid who just got the game and is asking you how to jump, right? Yeah, and how do I throw grenades, and how do I switch weapons? Play the campaign. Just play the campaign, run through it. The story is good. You'll learn the controls. If you play on heroic or legendary, forgive me, legendary, hardcore, whatever it is. I think it's legendary. Yeah, you play on that difficulty. You'll learn how to fight those elites, and the elites are like fighting other Spartans, and you learn how to play the game, and life is good. So 2 reasons to not dive straight into the multiplayer. Play the campaign for a good story and to learn the controls, and then you get into where we all know the real game is, multiplayer. And you know this about me. I'll play the story and enjoy it, but I'm not really having fun. I'm not really in my element unless I'm playing another person. And that goes for every game I play. Halo, Madden, NBA. I'm interested in playing Elder Scrolls in those games now because there is that online aspect of it. But yeah, it's just I'm not the kid to be playing against the computer, and that's no knock on anyone that does, because there's some great stories out there that are single player. And go for it, absolutely go for it. Gamers United, and I support you guys. But as for me, I got to be shooting another human being in the virtual world, right? Like in the virtual world. But that's it. Yeah, Halo, without a doubt.
What are going back? What did you start with? What's some of the first games you played that you can recall?
PacMan in this little Pizza Hut back in Phoenix. Do you remember there was this PacMan table, and it was just like a table, and I think you could eat on it also, but underneath the table was a controller, and you look into the table and you play PacMan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me and my sister, that was our thing. Pizza Hut in Phoenix, Arizona, right in the Maryvale community. Shout out to Maryvale. But I spent a lot of time on that PacMan machine. And then in the arcade in the mall in Maryvale, there was this game Karate Champ. It was just the 2 sticks, right? So it's you versus another player. I guess you could play the computer also, but I was always against other people. And there's 2 sticks, and the direction that you press the sticks, the moves change, and whatever. There were no buttons, just 2 controllers, or 2 2 sticks, and that's how that's how you got it in. And then at some point, this store Federated got the NES. What do they call it? It was almost a
like Select 8 kind of thing.
It wasn't 8 though. It was like maybe it wasn't 8. I feel like it was like 30. It was a lot of different games on this thing, right? And that was right when the Nintendo came out. And when I ran out of quarters at Gold Rush, which was the arcade in the mall, and that was where I cut my teeth. That was where Gold Rush Arcade in Maryvale Mall was where I cut my teeth, my gaming teeth. But then I would run out of quarters, right? So go to Federated, and every Nintendo game that came out around launch, I was in there. So, but it was a lot of Excite Bike and Super Mario Brothers. And Mario is, if Master Chief is the hero of my favorite game, Mario is the hero of my oldest love in gaming, right? Super Mario Brothers, I could play it right now for hours, and I just go through all the worlds and enjoy it. I love Mario. So it was a lot of Mario and Excite Bike, and I'm sure a bunch of other games that came out with the NES launch. But that's what it was. Federated in the NES. Some time with the Atari 2600 because friends had it, but the NES was the first console that I personally had. So, long story short, PacMan, Karate Champ in the arcade, Federated Nintendo thing, Atari 2600. That was me.
So PacMan in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You were born in Germany, though.
Born in Germany. Born in Wiesbaden, Germany, to 2 military parents. My mother and father met in the Air Force. I've been a sickly kid all my life. Like, I try to stay in decent shape and whatnot and eat right and things. But a lot of that is because I've got asthma and allergic to everything. There's just trees and stuff around here. I'm allergic to every tree in the yard, every kind of grass in the yard. That's unfortunately me. But I came into the world sick. So my parents were stationed in Greece, and emergency surgery, they fly my mother to Wiesbaden, Germany, and that's where I was born. And then we spent some time in Europe, and then back over to the States, some time in Washington, D.C. Like I said, I was an emergency delivery from Greece to Germany. My sister was born in Washington, D.C., but coincidentally, she's an emergency delivery. Middle of the night, my mom rushes to the hospital. Hey, call in the doctor. The same doctor who was randomly on call in Wiesbaden, Germany 2 years earlier was the same doctor in Washington, D.C. area who was on call and delivered my sister. How weird is that?
That is ridiculous. Yeah,
that's really cool and weird. But some time in Washington, D.C., and then maybe 6 months or so in Alabama, here in Alabama, and then off to Phoenix. And Phoenix is where like my core is. That's like where the soul of who I am is. The West Coast kid. All my family's California, Arizona family out there. So West Coast in my soul. But then we moved to Alabama around the end of 5th grade, beginning of 6th grade. So junior high and high school were here in Alabama, very afraid I was going to get lynched and all this other stuff that my friends in Phoenix were telling me, and that's not at all true.
The rumors.
The rumors.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's how they thought out there. That's something.
Yeah, that's exactly how they thought. So they told me I was going to
fix your reputation, Alabama.
Well, we're doing that, right?
Right.
And I was fortunate to make some great friends, including you. Once we moved to Alabama, like I said, we were in Opelika. For those that don't know, Opelika is, I call it the brother city to Auburn. Auburn University is kind of right next door to us. Everything is Opelika, Auburn this. We share everything. For the longest time, we shared a Walmart and our mall and all this stuff. Everything is Opelika, Auburn, whatever. The newspapers, the Opelika, Auburn News. But we moved to Opelika, which is where my mother was from. After, when my father passed away, we pretty much were stuck here with her needing the support of her family. So we're here in Opelika, and I cried because my friends told me I was going to get lynched. We're moving to Alabama, you're going to get lynched. So we're around Opelika, which is a country town. You would imagine every town in Alabama is a little bit country. But we moved to Opelika, and it's a country town. But then my mom says, okay, well, we're moving to the country. what? What are you talking about? We're in the country. How are we moving to the country?
It gets more country.
It gets more country. So we moved to Beulah, which is where I spent all of high school, and where I met you and some of our best friends in life. And yeah, life was good. You know, I was worried. I cried when we moved to the country, being Alabama. Then I cried again a little bit, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. When we moved to Beulah, I won't call the person's name out, but the first person I saw at Beulah High School, which is, trust me, Google it. It's just kind of this little country school. It's awesome school. I couldn't imagine having graduated from anywhere else or spent my teenage years around better people. I was completely wrong about my preconceived notions.
60 people in the graduating class? What do you say? 60, 80, somewhere in that neighborhood?
Oh, wow. You think it was that many?
Okay, there you go. So 60 may be high.
Yeah, 60 is a little high, I think.
To put it into scale for a lot of people.
Yeah. We graduated with a small group of people, but a group of close-knit people. And I was fortunate to come here and meet you, a fellow gamer, and, you know, Cass and Derek, you know, one of my best friends. Just a lot of good people. I met a lot of good people here. So, yeah, that's my backstory here in this community, and I love it so much. You know, I built my house here, and I plan on raising my daughter here, and hopefully a future son. And you know, but if it's another girl, we'll see. But we're definitely trying. But I love the area. I love the community, and we're looking. I know you and I both have big plans for Madden Men and making our community better, because this is where we love. With all due respect to all of the other places that I've lived and loved as well, and look forward to visiting and showing my family where I come from. This is for real where I come from. I'm 37 years old now.
So you talk about community, you talk about Madden Men, and you've got some big plans for Madden Men in the community. I came into this thing looking to get online and meet some people and do some cool things.
Right.
But you've taken this to a different level of community involvement.
Absolutely. So part of the idea of being a Madden Man is, like, you guys have seen some of our old stuff, and we're here now, suited up in shirts and ties and whatnot, which is definitely a part of who we are as men. We go to work every day and we put food on our tables for our families and handle our business, right? But at our core, you guys know us, and we're just kind of t-shirt and jeans gamers. You know, it's usually Chuck tees and a dirty t-shirt. But, you know, that's only part of the story. And there are a lot of kids in our community, a lot of people in our community, and by our community, I'm talking specifically to the gamers in our community who, for one reason or another, aren't quite on the right track in their lives, right? And that's not me judging at all. We've all had our ups and downs in life. But one of the things that I think is cool about, or one of the opportunities that we're presented with, is for Madden Men to help our gaming community become a stronger community, a community that's a big part of positive, or a big positive influence on the culture of the local area, right? And hopefully that branches out into something bigger. So what that involves is community service, you know, helping out the charities that you and I both, we're both animal lovers, right? So we want to help out our Humane Society. We've been in contact with them about doing some things to help out just with animals, because we both love animals. There's prostate cancer awareness. We're Madden Men after all, and nut check, boys. We gotta, if we're going to be strong men capable of taking care of our families, we've got to take care of ourselves first. You're with me? So what better charity to support than prostate cancer awareness, and getting that knowledge in early. And a lot of that's going to come with just staying healthy. You know, that involves just being healthy. So we want to talk to the community, and a lot of that's going to be grown men mentoring kids, but also just helping each other out. Madden Men will be about helping out each other to become a stronger community. And everything is based in gaming. That's why we start these interviews off with what's your favorite game, and letting you know that the people that are sitting here being interviewed by us aren't just, you know, hopefully politicians and businessmen and mechanics or what have you. They're also gamers. They're also you. They're, for the younger ones, for the younger Madden men, they're the people who you will likely grow up to be, right? And they're people who, in many ways, you should maybe model your life after. But there are also going to be some people who need help, be it just building a fence. There are times when I've gotten friends and family out to just, I needed to build a fence. And that's what happened. And that's what I want Madden Men to be, a social club. And I hope no Masons come after me or anything, but the best way I can describe it is to say what Masonry is to the Masons, and I admire them a great deal. They're all about building a better man, right? And you got that keystone thing. The keystone is your head, and that makes you a stronger person and whatnot. But the Masons are about building good men, good, productive members of society. I'd like to think that Madden Men can be that for gaming, right? So what Masonry is to the Masons, gaming will be to Madden Men. But what we're about is making the world a better place, one little gamer at a time.
What are some of the programs you see going forward that you'd like to get involved with specifically? Maybe at some local places. Is there anything kind of high up on the list?
Yeah, so it's funny that you should ask that, and I'm not sure if this is where you were going, but the first thing that popped into my head when you said that is basic self-defense, right? Basic self-defense. There's a YouTuber out there. His name is Gracie. God bless. Good Lord. He's a Gracie. And for those of you who are into MMA and jiu-jitsu, you guys know that the Gracie name is gold, right? But Royce Gracie and his family, I'm assuming they're all related, have this thing where they work with young kids and they just teach them to defend themselves and how to avoid confrontation. And one of the statements that the guy made is by a kid being able, having the confidence to not be bullied, because being bullied is a big thing right now, right? And it always has been. But what social media has allowed to happen is that it puts that in the forefront, and these bullies are being exposed constantly. And it doesn't mean that bullying is going to stop, but we're more aware than ever that it's an issue, right? And what the Gracies are doing admirably, I admire you guys a great deal for doing this, is they're enabling kids to feel confident about who they are, but at the same time teaching them to avoid confrontation. So if a bully is approaching you, get them off of you, right? Or kind of hold them. And a lot of jiu-jitsu is holding, it's grappling and whatnot. So you hold your bully down or what have you until help comes and the situation is diffused. So thinking about some of the first things I want to do, we got Kevin, you know him as Kevin Till, but his name is Kevin Piper now. He's big into jiu-jitsu, so working with him and just making sure that Madden Men is a strong organization in the right way, not bullying people, but in the right way. So making sure that we have a healthy group and encouraging health. Gardening, I'm pretty big into gardening now. At some point you guys will check out what I've got going on now. A little bit of carpentry and whatnot. Think 4-H meets the Masons and all these other things. Whatever you're into, hopefully we'll be able to hook you up with someone to make your life easier. And that's really what it's about. What is it that you want to do with your life? You're new to Madden Men. What is it that you want to do? How can we help you out, brother? And we'll make that happen. Furthermore, I have a daughter that was just born, right?
Yes.
So we don't want to exclude the girls at all, because I've got two daughters, I've got Erin and Elena, who I think are going to take over the world in the right way, along with your future baby girl, right?
That's right.
This trio will be dynamic, and any man who receives them or whatever is going to be fortunate to have them. But we want to build strong women as well. So working with the girls in the community, we got Jennifer and Amy and Kaylin, some of the female gamers that we know out here, organizing kind of the same thing that happened around women with a sister organization. So I could talk forever about this and tell you every idea that pops into my head, but it's just about making strong, solid people. some tournaments and whatnot, and having fun. That's the other thing, and I'm ridiculous for not mentioning it before now. Having fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tournaments and barbecues and time at the West Point Dam and what have you, because we are a local organization and everyone's invited, but you can't change the world until you change yourself, right? And after you change yourself, it's your family, and then your community, and it branches out from there. And yeah, by no means do I think that I'm going to get someone over in India to do what I want them to do, or I think I'm going to flap my wings and things are going to happen over there. So we'll take care of home first, and hopefully there's an extension of that. And if you're at all interested in being a part of this movement, wherever you're at, contact us.
So this is definitely one of my top interviews I wanted to get.
Okay, right? Sure.
But as a program, we plan on doing a lot of interviews with a lot of people, both in the local community and just anywhere.
Okay. Yes.
Exposing people to a lot of different things.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Things
and
I think
things
I know
they
what's
may
coming.
not be aware
I have
of.
no idea.
So you're one half of this interview duo.
Right.
If you could interview anyone,
who would it be? Oh my God, who would it be? Oh, I should have been prepared for this. So
you can give me a few. We don't have to narrow it to one.
God, locally, the first name that pops in my head, and I know this is going to sound lame to some people, but I want to interview the mayor of Opelika.
Okay.
I just want to interview the mayor of Opelika, and I want to interview him to ask him a couple of quick questions, right? So, if he could get the youth in the community to rally around anything, what would it be? What is it that you would, and that's to make our city better. And I say Opelika, but a lot of our reach right now is from Auburn to LaGrange, Georgia. So all of you guys are a part of our community. I just happen to live in Opelika, and I like the direction our city is headed in. And I think the kids kind of would like it also. They've got some really cool things happening in the area. So one, I want to expose our local gaming community to the plan of the city. So, Mr. Mayor, what is the plan for our city? And what is it that you think we can do to help? How can we help out? Because I'm sure your goal is to make our city a better place. Same thing goes for Auburn, LaGrange, Valley, West Point, Lynette, and Phoenix City, Smith Station area, Beauregard and whatnot. So I'd like to interview the mayors, specifically my mayor first, which is the mayor of Opelika. Dream interview? Probably Kobe Bryant. Probably nice. Kobe Bryant. I think I have something he'd be interested in talking about and helping out with. So Kobe Bean Bryant, who's the superstar of my favorite team. I'd sell an I'm about to upset some local people, but I'd give up an Alabama championship or an Eagles championship or any championship. I've said this before, for a Lakers championship. I believe purple and gold. So, yeah, Kobe Bryant for a celebrity, the mayor of Opelika for more realistic but awesome future. Short-term goal.
So what now with the Lakers?
Okay, so the Lakers lost a bunch of games this year. And it kind of worked out serendipitously. Is that a word? It was kind of serendipity in that Kobe's last season was a horrible season, which is sad for him, but kind of poetic considering some things. I'll just say that, considering some things. But we lost a bunch of games this season, so hopefully we'll end up with a high lottery pick. If we fall outside of the top 3 in the lottery, I believe this is correct. If we fall outside of the top 3 in the lottery, then we lose our pick. But if we land in the top 3, then we get to keep it, right? So we get a high lottery pick, hopefully. And that means that we have 3 players on our team who are lottery players. The last 2 years we picked up lottery players as well. So we've got a nice young core, and I believe in our young talent right now. So hopefully we pick up a solid big man, I would assume, unless we can pick someone up from free agency. But hopefully we pick up a solid big man, and in the next 2 to 3 years, where I think in 2 years we'll be a playoff team again, and in 3 years hopefully we're competing for a championship. And that's it in a nutshell. We lost a bunch of games. It was a sad season for more than just Kobe leaving, which it was, God bless him, it was time, you know. You put in a lot of work for us and 5 championships, and there's something to be said for superstars who kind of take you up there, right? And you just get to hang out on the top for a while. And Kobe, I love and appreciate you for allowing the Lakers to be relevant for the last 17 years, 19 years, however many seasons you've been playing. For whatever reason, the numbers 19, 20 are in my head, but we're going to say from around 2000 or so, since that first championship. So from then until now, it's been a joy. NBA 2K, until this year, was always fun to play with them. I know Kobe shot like the back of my hand. You know, I'll J you up right now with the Lakers, and that's just what it is, bro. When I make my player has Kobe shot, because that's what it is. I've been playing with this dude since 2K was 2K.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what it is. Love and appreciate Kobe, and I think our future is bright, and I'm not an unrealistic fan. I think we're 3 years away from competing for a championship, 2 years away from making the playoffs. Yeah.
We've been doing this show, well, not quite this show.
Oh,
We've been doing this show for a little over a year and a half now. Right? Right. From two guys whose voices were poorly coming through on the
right?
PS4 version of Madden 25,
Sure.
I think, to the production that you see today.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Right on.
Is there anything you'd do differently if we were starting over, or how do you feel you've changed over the last year and a half in regards to this?
You know, the only reason I look backwards is more to reflect than to regret, right? It's more about reflection than regret. Everything that we've done up to this point has been a learning experience. So I guess with that in mind, I would, you know me, man, like I don't do anything without believing 100% in the plan. And what that leads me to is a lot of waiting and a lot of nothing happening. Another word for that would be procrastination. Because if I don't believe 110% that what I'm doing is the most efficient way and right way of doing a thing, then I kind of just won't do it. Maybe that's too much Six Sigma in me, you know, Six Sigma lean, getting it on. Six Sigma basically teaches us to streamline a process, right? And maybe that's a little too ingrained in my way of thinking, but what I do now, as opposed to what was happening before, was I wouldn't wait as long to pull the trigger on action, on certain actions. And we've done a lot of personal growth as well with just listening to some of the right people. Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk. Absolutely, he's got some great stuff out there and has been motivational. I know to you, and I appreciate you for showing me some of this stuff. So there's a level of just action and doing what needs to be done that I incorporate into the way that I've handled things. And that's what's happening now, but I wish it had happened before. But whatever, we're where we're at now, and we're blessed to have had the experiences that we've had. You're a more solid producer. We're more comfortable in front of the camera now, right? Everything that we've done in the past, we considered our beta test. And that may have been necessary. But I'd be more. I'd take more action early on.
All right. Well, what else would you like to say to these people? Tell them where they can find us.
All right.
What
So
we're gonna be doing.
social media, you know what it is: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. What else we got? Help me out.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr,
Right on.
Snapchat,
Twitch,
sure. YouTube, Google Plus.
Twitch, YouTube, Google Plus.
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere and trying to make this something bigger, right? Trying to reach out to you, make this something bigger. We need your help to make that happen. We want to have fun and we want to make the world better. And I don't think that's a lot to ask from the universe or God or whoever it is that you ask for things. So that's pretty much what it is. We want to make the world better and we want to have a good time doing it. So holler at us.
Wesley, thanks so much for this interview.
I'm glad.
100% the best interview I'll ever do.
Well, for those that know me, know that you pulled this little, like, Woody's my favorite toy. He's my favorite Disney character ever, right? But you pull this string, and I may mumble and ramble and speak out loud while I'm thinking, but I will speak, right? So, absolutely, I appreciate you talking to me, and I appreciate the opportunity that we've given ourselves, right? And that you now have through us. Do it yourself, but we'd rather those of you who are trying to do anything do it with us. Because this is going to be fun.
All right. And on that, we will see you soon.